Full reception. Shouldn't be no issues, right? So we gonna see. Thank y'all for rocking with your bruh, True Jew. You know I love y'all to life always. Trip just to even go live, I see. I'm here now. If y'all tap in with me, cool. If not, this video go up and y'all can catch up later on. But the confusion of Christianity, right? Born into sin, but not born sinners. That's the part of this video. I was out there in the field and I want to get to the root of the matter, the root of the issue. Why we all got this guilt complex when it comes to Christianity and why it's difficult for us to get over the paradigm thought process of mind that says if we don't believe in Christianity, then we all going to hell. Or we all going to some bad place, right? And in that same thought, I know some of us, we think about, well, what about our ancestors and ancestresses who was on earth before Christianity was even invented? Like, where did they go? And see, that's part of, that's part of the control mechanism that we all received through Europe when they created the form of Christianity that we know today. See, they don't want us to acknowledge our ancestors or ancestresses, especially back then, because if we acknowledge our ancestors and ancestresses, we acknowledge ourselves. Okay? We are our ancestors and ancestresses. So even in saying that, it's kind of ironic how if they didn't get access to Christianity back then, way before Christianity was even existing, then could it be that us as our ancestors and ancestresses today get access to it? Therefore, our ancestors of old would not go to hell because they are here in us right now? Well, I want to get to the crux of this, no pun intended. But I want to get to the bottom of this, to the root of this, right? And like I said, I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. I truly do. I know y'all got things y'all got to do, and I respect y'all time just like y'all respect mine. So, but y'all also know, bruh, True Jew not finna just be giving up. Excuse my shirt. Yeah, it's battered and bruised, but I just got out of this field. So I put on my work clothes. All right? So y'all don't mind, bruh, True Jew. Yeah, I got good shirts and everything inside. Y'all don't worry about that. We good. We good. But I was out there in the field and I was just thinking about my ancestors and ancestresses too. Thinking about how what was confirmed to me earlier with the conversation I was having with my wife about Christianity and the confusion that causes Christianity or those who practice Christianity to fall under. Always having to depend on somebody else's insight or somebody else's doctrine or somebody else's idea, because in Christianity we're just not allowed to think for ourselves. you know Even when you start thinking for yourself and you read the Bible for yourself and you got questions that you want to present to those who are supposed to be in authoritative positions within Christianity, they tell you, oh no, you tripping, no, go away from me with all of this, no, it's not time for this, pray on it, young man, pray on it, young lady, and all of these sorts of things. They don't have no answer themselves, right? Well, first of all, what is Christianity? Christianity, anytime you see, and I'm going to touch on all this again, so if y'all was already rocking with me before and you heard it before, well then I'm about to speak on it again. And I see it's starting to get choppy again, right? But it's okay, because we got to get to the bottom of this. When we talk about these English words and we talk about ideas that didn't exist throughout all of time, we have to really get to the bottom of these things, and you all have to understand and understand and understand that it's okay to think. It's okay to use your mind. Don't feel guilty for coming and arriving to your own conclusions. But you must do the due diligence. You have to study. You got to look for the answer that resonates with you at any given time. And then you got to learn how to be confident enough to stand on what you find, stand on the truth that makes sense to you. Like I keep reminding y'all, bro, True Jew's job is not to teach, is not to tell you what to think, but it's to teach you how to think. Maybe you can use a piece of what I present to y'all for your own arsenal. You can take little tidbits here and there. My mindset and how I I construct my thought so that maybe it might resonate with you, and then you could go on and you can take your own thought, your own way of thinking, and put it together for yourself in a very meaningful way. That way, you don't have to depend on somebody controlling you and how you think about something. But let's break down the word Christianity real quick. Okay, and let's start with the suffix. The suffix is the tail end of a word. The prefix is the beginning of a word. Okay, so when anytime you see the suffix anity added to something, that means it's a group, a grouping of something, or something that's being denoted as. Okay, whenever you see a prefix of a word attached to that type of suffix, that's what the group actually is. So when you see humanity, okay, that's a group of humans. When you see insanity, that's a group of crazy humans. When you see sanity, that's a group of sound-minded humans. Okay? When you hear the word satanity, that's a group of adversaries, because Hashatan in Hebrew and Arabic means adversary. Okay, now who's the adversary that we go against as children of the light? Well, that's the devil and the devil's children, the demons, right? Those who want to stay in the shadows, those who want to be slithery, those who want to connive, and those who have nefarious intent, right? All right, so that's not who we are. We're children of the light, right? Right? So they tried to take the children of the light and throw them all into this group called Christianity. Now, what is Christianity? Now that we know anity means group, what does Christ mean? Well, you have to look at the Greek for Christ because Christ comes from a Grecian word, a Greek word. All right, now Greek is European. That's a country in Europe. All right, so we have to figure out first of all what in the world does Christ mean? Well, Christ in English comes from the Greek word Christos. Okay, now Christos is a good word. Christos means anointed or anointed one. But what Christianity is then should be a group of anointed ones. Okay? That's what Christianity should mean, a group of anointed ones. But instead, it's more a group of confused ones in this modern age. And that's not by mistake. That's not a mistake that it's like that. Okay? Now, we have to look at this thing and really break it down because there are some people in high places who have taken the true definition of Christianity and have represented it to us and have controlled the narrative of it in order to control us as a people. Because if we knew what the true word of Christianity meant and we stood on what it meant, we would be free in our minds because by default, the word Christ or Christos means anointed or anointed one. When one is anointed or chosen for anointance, that means that they are more than likely awake to the ills of what's going on. And one of the things that Christianity in the modern sense has sought to do is to control who or what is anointed. Okay. Now, this is very important. I feel personally, can't no man and no woman anoint me. Okay, I have to be anointed from the spirit supernatural realm. I have to receive true anointings if I'm going to present the type of information that I seek to present to all of my brothers and sisters, right? If a man come along and he takes some oil or some balm and touch my forehead with it and tries to give me the permission to then go out into the world under some sort of anointings that he gave, I'm only going to get so far, right? What if I come to find out that man is a pedophile or he a child molester and he was touching on my forehead and touching on my head or my shoulder talking about now you anointed? Well, guess what? I'm going to feel some kind of way when I find that truth out about him. And I'm going to feel less about myself and the calling that is truly placed onto my life because look who anointed me, some pedo dude, right? So we have to look for our anointings as coming from the supernatural realm. That's just my opinion. That's the truth that I live under. So because I live within that truth of what it means to truly be anointed for me and my perspective on things, it's certain things that I'm not going to do and it's certain things that I'm not going to stand for as far as the truth. Now, when it comes to modern day Christianity as a control mechanism, we see that even when we read the word, the word itself goes against what we see in modern Christianity. For instance, in John chapter 14, verse 12, yes, awakening goddess. No person can anoint me. Somebody can give me a title or a position. They can tell me, they can charge me. They can give me a charge, and whether or not I believe that charge or not to be a blessing, then I could go out like, I dub thee the knight of the round table. Now go out and protect the kingdom. Like, that's a charge. That's a form of anointings, but it's up to me to believe that or not based off of who's giving it to me. You see what I'm saying? And so when we look at modern day Christianity as being a certain form of confusion, that's when all that anointings that's given from Christian mindset goes out the way. For instance, Big Mama and them could anoint you, right? And then you tell them what the truth is according to what you read, even in the same book that they have, and they're going to say, boy, you going to hell for talking like that. You don't talk like that. When John chapter 14, verse 12, what I'm finna say, is talking like that. Now, what's talking like that when it comes to anointings? Well, when we realize the true definition of Christ, of Christos, and we realize that it means anointed or anointed one, then straight off the bat, we should start to see that, wait a second, ain't one person just the Christ. Now, you might have some diehard Christians that get on this thread or watch this video and they say something like, well, that's a lie. You going to hell, or uh, Christ himself said many antichrists will come. Well, first of all, if you rocking the same way Yahshua was rocking, then you're not an antichrist. How can you be an antichrist when you copying after him? An antichrist means that you are somebody who wants to claim the anointings, but is living in direct opposite of the original anointing. That's why the Bible say you will know a tree by the fruit that it bears. You will know a tree by the fruit that it bears. If a brother or sister is moving like the tenets of Yahshua had within him, well then that's not an antichrist. As a matter of fact, that's a John chapter 14, verse 12. Many of y'all is going to do great works, even greater than me. That's what Yahshua said. Why? Because he going back to the Father. That's what Yahshua said. True, you not saying that. I'm just repeating what I read in that sense. Okay? So when you think about John chapter 14, verse 12, and you realize that the one who is called Christ, or the one and only Christ, said that many of us will do the same works that he has done, and even greater than what he has done, then we have to start questioning ourselves what Christ really is. And when you go and you understand the definition of Christ as being anointed one, then you will soon find out that Yahshua was not the only anointed one. And when you realize that Yahshua is not the only anointed one, then you can begin to express and live yourself within the purpose, live within the purpose that you were destined to live, especially if that purpose, hopefully, is to be anointed yourself. And you won't fall into the paradigm of false belief. You won't fall into the paradigm of someone else seeking to control you, because that control would only come from your own inhibitions. It'll come from your own discipline. It won't come from outside of you. Therefore, you won't be as confused as one who is being swayed this way and that way every time it's time to recognize the truth for yourself. Now, there's no attack on any of us as we search and as we journey, okay? Because I've been confused at times. Listen, I've been confused a lot at times, especially on this walk, because, like they say, when you find the rabbit hole and you decide to go down it, it gets deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And like I like to say, the truth is like an onion, okay? The more layers you pull back, the more it's going to make you cry, okay? Because you're going to realize just how disenfranchised from the truth you really been. And I had to ask myself, well, what's up with Christianity, especially when our ancestors and ancestresses who lived and existed before Christianity didn't have access to it? You know, I'm the type of person who likes to look at books, and I like to look at reality. Behind me and on this screen, you see reality. You see, bruh, True Jew. You see reality, right? You see the trees. Earlier when I was live, you could see me working in the field as long as, it was up, but you can see reality. You see the creation. And the book is a form of the creation in that it's paper, it's words, it's something that was created, but it's not a living creation. Now, some people will disagree and say, well, it's the living word. Brother, it's only the living word when you live it yourself and you make it real. That's why when you talk about knowledge from a book, that knowledge from a book is superseded by the knowledge of life. Okay? I could learn how to be a firefighter all day long. I could learn how to be a policeman all day long. I could read about being a lawyer all day long. But until I put on that gear as a firefighter and go fight a fire, until I put that badge on as a police officer, until I step into the courtroom and represent somebody and a lawyer as a lawyer, that book knowledge is only going to get me so far. I have to be in position to know through experience. Okay. And that's what modern day Christianity seeks to remove from us. Modern day Christianity seeks to remove us from the experience. And then when we experience the supernatural and we experience what is true and real, then modern day Christianity and those adepts within, so called adepts within the system, seek to call us crazy, seek to say you tripping, or you not ready for that right now. You need to go on with that because that type of thought is going to lead you to hell. And I got to disagree with that. See, when you look at creation, right, and you look at these leaves and this tree behind me, right, that is an extension of the Most High. Okay, life itself is an extension of the Most High. Hey, y'all go on and I don't really say stuff like this, but y'all like this live stream if you can see it. Okay, let me know that y'all can see it. Leave me a comment or something. I know it took a long time to even get this thing up the right way. But I done said this message probably 3 or 4 times today, and we finally rocking. So I want to make sure that y'all can see and hear me. Excuse me, I should have said that earlier when I first started talking. Can y'all hear me okay? And can y'all see me okay? And if y'all participating in the live, rock with your bruh True Jew, man. I'm not here to just be talking at the screen and be talking to y'all. We need to be able to interact with one another like I'm right here with y'all. Because believe you me, if y'all was right here in my face, I would be saying the same exact thing. I would be talking the same way. I would be talking with just as much excitement and fervor in my voice. Y'all wouldn't have to worry about Bruh Chuju acting all shy and nervous around y'all. No, I'm just like this in real life. Okay? This me in real life, real time. All right? So y'all rock with me and I rock with y'all. But the point is, when you look at creation, one of the biggest things that got me, yee, one of the biggest things that got me about creation is the attack that the true creation is under right now by the wicked one and all the wicked one's children, all the GMOs, all the bioengineered this, all the genetically modified this. You know, when we talk about creation, once again, we're talking about the extension of the Most High. Now, when I look at the universe, I look at the universe as being a form of consciousness because it has certain um, universal and cosmic laws attributed to it, but it is still an extension of a more eternal, pre-existing consciousness. Okay, just like when Steve Jobs created the Apple computer, for instance, that started in Steve Jobs' mind. Okay, and as it formulated in his mind, then he presented it to the world as a viable tool to be able to calculate quickly and to be able to come up with certain formulas more quicker than had you needed pen and paper to do so. Same thing with the iPhone, right? Or the Galaxy or whatever you using to communicate with. Same thing as a vehicle. Earlier, give me 1 second, y'all. Let me go get my hoe real quick. I know y'all like go get his hoe. He did say he was from the Bay. Well, I know he. Nah, this the hoe I'm talking about. I ain't talking about the Filmo Slim hoe. Okay, so y'all know when Bruh True Jew talking, it's about righteous things. Okay, I'm talking about this right here. This too started within the mind of somebody. Somebody had to think. I want to get some wood. I want to get a rubber grip. All of this, so much truth in so little time, especially for single black women with black children. I think that's what you finna get at, huh? Well, listen. Yeah, loud and clear. So see this hoe? This was a tool. Thank y'all. Uh, Thank y'all for rocking with me. I know it was hard to get to this point just for today, but we gonna keep it going. This was a tool. I use this tool every day. Look, it's bent up. I be having to straighten it out, everything. But I get out here in this land and I want to get to the root of the situation. Now I could use a lawnmower. I could use the tractor. I could use the mower. But every time you use the mower and it goes over that land, right? It doesn't get to the root of what you're cutting. It only trims it down for a minute. With this hoe, I can get to the root of the situation. Now, when I talk about creation, as men and women, we was given the ability and the opportunity to caretake over this land. We are the caretakers of this land. It's our responsibility to tend to it. Now, when I cut down these trees and everything, as soon as I get the hoe in the tree, guess what? I'm not extinguishing the tree. I'm not destroying the tree. Okay. As soon as I get to hoeing it down, the seed flies all over the place. So during the next rain, during the next form of moisture in the air, during the early hours of the day when it's still dark outside, those seeds get to go into the ground and they get to germinate. So in a couple weeks, a few weeks, a month, guess what I got to do? I got to get back out in the land and I got to get back at it again because I'm not in a position to exterminate the creation of the Most High, and that's not what I ever seek to do. But we have wicked ones on this earth who seek to not only destroy what the Most High has created, but seek to replicate it for their own nefarious intent. This is where the GMOs and the genetically modified organisms and the bioengineered things come from. See, when you take a horse and you put a horse and a horse together, it's gonna produce a fawn. It's gonna produce a coat, right? And that baby horse will be able to get with another horse and reproduce more horses. When you take a donkey and they get together, they'll produce a burro, a baby donkey, right? And that baby donkey could get with another donkey and then produce more donkeys, right? But when you take a horse and you put that horse with a donkey, they're gonna create a mule, and that mule is gonna be sterile. It's not going to be able to produce another generation of mules. If you take that mule and put it with a mule, it's not going to produce. And so that's the same thing with these bioengineered and genetically altered substances that are being created right now. Anytime you see somebody attacking creation, the people, or any form of creation, the stones, the rocks, the leaves, the branches, the plants, the animals, the bugs, that thing, that person is seeking to destroy and attack the Most High themselves. Because these creations are extended thought forms spoken into existence through the vibration of sound into this realm. That's why everything in creation, as we read in the scriptures, was brought to life through the word. What is a word, y'all? A word is a sound. But what is a sound? A sound is a vibration. And how is a vibration created? A vibration is created through consciousness. I see it's kind of getting choppy on me. So we just gonna keep rocking like this until the thing get back how it's supposed to get. All right. But listen, I hope that y'all picking up what I'm putting down. Okay. Our ancestors and ancestresses didn't have access to Christianity, and yet they were beautiful beings. They were perfectly created. Many of them were wiser and stronger than we will ever be in this day. There are systems that were created back then that people cannot replicate to this day with all the computers and calculators that they want. People still don't know how the pyramids was created. And because modern day people, mainly Europeans, excuse me, all my so-called white folk that are in high places and high position, they will say aliens created the pyramid instead of giving African people the credit that we all deserve for creating the pyramids. Our ancestors and ancestresses created those things, those structures. Okay, it wasn't by accident. It was high form of thought, high form of consciousness, high form of math. So when I think about praying to the universe, for instance, I have a difficult time doing that because I look at that being that is outside of the universe. See, back to this hoe. This hoe started in the mind of its creator. And once it left the mind and was created, it was manifest into this physical realm for us to use as a tool. And just like this whole started in the mind of the one who created it, so did we. And see, what's so special about humans and why the wicked one wants to attack us and all of creation is because we was made different than the devil. The devil used to be an angel, okay? The devil used to be an angel, but we was made differently than the devil. We was made as vehicles in this avatar to experience within this three-dimensional physical realm. Okay, y'all hear me on this. This is real important. This is why we are all reflections and children of the Most High. Those of us who are walking in the light. Okay, as divine beings on this earth, we were given these vehicles, these bodies, to experience within this realm as a reflection of the true divine source that is outside of this universal construct as its creator, creatress, but also inside representing as us. How do we know this? Well, let's go to the beginning of the book. And we see in Genesis chapter 1, verse 26, where male and female were made in the image of the Most High. So if we was male and female in the physical realm made in the image of the Most High, that means the Most High is also male and female. This is why they say when a man and a woman get together, two becomes one. And two becomes one through what? It's child, it's creation. I hope y'all getting this. I hope y'all getting this. Because to me it's fun to even think about it. It makes so much sense when we can just get out of that mind frame of Christianity. Now, what is true Christianity? True Christianity, according to the word itself, Christosanity, Christianity means group of anointed ones. Now, did I tell y'all earlier that Christ is an English word that comes from the Greek word Christos? And Christos means anointed one or anointed, and anity means a group of something. So if Christ is the prefix and anity is the suffix, you put those words together, anointed, Christ, Christos, anity, group, anointed group of people. This is what Yahshua was propagating through the world. He wanted to see all of us as children of the Most High living as anointed beings, a group of anointed beings on earth. That's why he said in John chapter 14, verse 12, all y'all gonna be rocking harder than I was rocking. Look, you see everything I'm doing, turning water to wine, making many loaves of bread, making fish out of nothing, walking on the water, bringing back the dead, healing the sick. Y'all see this? He said we gonna be doing better things than him. And like I said earlier, man, yeah, hey, family, y'all don't trip off the shirt. I was out here working. This is one of my work shirts. So y'all don't even trip. Bruh Tuju got good shirts and clean shirts in the house, okay? Y'all don't worry. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. All I'm telling y'all is something that was placed on my heart today that's really important for us to grasp so that we could get out of the guilt conscious, that guilty conscience that says we can't even think thoughts like what I'm saying right now. If I said this to a pastor in the church, he would say I'm going to hell. He would say I'm crazy. He would say, young brother, you got to let go of that thought. You got to get rid of that. Purge yourself of that. Purge yourself, young man. Get that out of here. Huh. I know I have masculine energy. Hello, my name is. That's what's up. You see, so look. Hold on. Let me see if I get my charger real quick. Hold on. Now we got a good live feed, and the phone want to say it got 20% left on it. All right. So look, a feminine quality, for instance, would be nurturing, right? Nurturing. I'm a good nurturer. That's part of the task of caretaking. These plants and this grass wouldn't grow the way it grew if I wasn't nurturing it. But my masculine energy says that I have to what? I have to protect it. I have to cultivate it. Okay? And anybody saying, bro, what you talking about? You got feminine side and all this. Hey, listen, if you know anything about genetics, you know that males are X and Y chromosomes. Women are XX chromosomes. XX chromosome is a woman. Okay? Males is XY chromosomes. And the X chromosome is the largest chromosome. Okay, the Y chromosome real small. The X chromosome is large and totally dwarfs the Y chromosome. But it's the Y chromosome that make me a man. And I love being a man. I love my beard. I love my locks. I love looking like a straight lion out here and feeling like that. Feeling like that. Good, healthy, non-toxic testosterone. It's a good thing. Because when it's time to get down and use these, you know I'm going to use them. When it's time to get down and protect my family, you know I'm going to do it. You feel me? It ain't nothing. It ain't no tail to tuck. It ain't no tail. I ain't got no tail, and it ain't one to tuck if I did. Yes, a balance between divine femininity and masculinity. That's right. That's part of the reason we have to walk in that anointing that comes from the supernatural realm. Okay. I'm not, like I told y'all earlier, I'm not with no man putting his hand on me, telling me now I'm anointed. Okay. Because if that man got a fault with him and he didn't just anointed me, what does that say about the anointing he gave me? That's going to make me move into more doubt. Because now it's some crazy pedo dude that just touched on me, told me I was anointed, and now I got to look and question myself, like, what am I really supposed to do now if this fool then touched on me and he didn't tell me I'm anointed, but he not even anointed? That's the confusion of Christianity, y'all. How many of our loved ones was placed in some messed up situation at the church house because the pastor was doing something strange behind closed doors? Huh? In our community, it's so messed up in the so-called black community. If pastor doing something, oh, you better not talk about pastor. You better not say nothing about pastor. You better not report that to pastor. You better not say nothing. Am I right or am I wrong? See, these are the things we got to talk about. Yes, but all this information has been hidden. We are wrong, spoke wrong. Too many jabs being put out in the streets. No money. Life is like a sci-fi movie, right? Oh, yes. Oh, speaking of sci-fi, now, and this is why we have to learn the truth, family. This is why I stand for my sisters always, our mamas, our big mamas, our sisters, our cousins, our daughters. Listen to me carefully. Women, especially so-called black women. Now, I was raised in the 90s. I was raised in the 2000s. I remember being in high school and the sisters really supporting these young little, what they call, uh, flamboyant brothers, right? All these little flamboyant boys running around trying to be like girls. At first, it was cute, wasn't it? It was cute at first, wasn't it? Now, this ain't an attack on my sister. Just listen to your bro True Jew real quick. It was cute at first, wasn't it? Until them boys grew up into these testosterone-filled dudes who want to be women, talking about they better women than y'all. Don't want to be men, but want to be women. And now we got terms like we can't say pregnant women no more or a pregnant female. Now they presenting this thing a pregnant person. Yes, I love being a man all day, just like you love being a woman all day. Thank you. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. But right now in society, speaking to that whole sci-fi element, it's like Attack of the Body Snatchers right now. And they don't want us to speak common terminology that we was raised in. Meaning, if I see a woman that's pregnant, I'm going to say, look at that beautiful pregnant woman right there. She's carrying life. She got the seed of life in her. But you got men who don't want that right now. You got men who think they could be a better woman than y'all. And they don't want you to live within your womanhood. They want to commandeer the womanhood by saying, no, don't say pregnant woman no more. Say pregnant person. I will not. Yes, a pregnant person, not a pregnant woman. Because last time I checked, women was the only ones that could get pregnant. until this sci-fi movie started ramping up and they started snatching wombs out of our melanated sisters. Because we know the melanated womb is the most fruitful womb on this planet. And it is that melanated womb that many of these body snatchers and these transvestites and these individuals in the LGBT XYZ community, I'm just talking, y'all, have now sought to commandeer and place within their bodies through all of these surgeries to knock the true woman out of the way. Yeah, I had to think about the word myself because now it done ramped up from flamboyant. Now the dude just want to be called a woman now. And that's one thing I said. When you see a stud woman, this is just observation. When you see a stud woman, right, and she want to be a man, right, and this is observation. Remember, I'm from the Bay. I'm from, I'm from one of the headquarters of the homosexual agenda, okay? So when you see a stud woman, one thing I noticed about women, they still keep that womanly element to them, where a woman by nature knows how to sit down and be quiet, to be attentive and listen when a man is speaking, right? Most women naturally know how to do this. And most women are very observant by nature. So when a man is talking, the woman is always looking around to make sure, it ain't nothing funky finna go down while her man is talking. That's just a natural womanly tendency. So when it comes to a woman seeking to be a man, when she's around her girls and all the girlfriends, yeah, she might try to replicate what it means to be a man to them. But when she's around real men, she quiet up. She stopped talking. Even if she got on Tim boots and a testosterone pill mustache, she just talking. But ain't no testosterone pill. I don't care how many she take. It ain't never gonna get her this. It ain't never gonna get her this. It ain't never gonna get her them. No matter how many she take. Okay? Now this not an attack. I'm just speaking the real. Y'all hear me out on this. I'm gonna get to my point. Yes, taking placentas and wombs for their agenda. Now, this is the flip though. When you see these brothers out here trying to be women, listen, we naturally are competitive and we naturally have a domineering effect to us once we reach puberty. We are athletic to the point where we can do great things with our body. And of course, that was a fight or flight mechanism put within us as protectors of our families from the beginning of time. But when we take that testosterone and it's not addressed correctly and it's unbalanced, and then we seek to want to be a woman, oh my goodness. Now you see what you see. A man saying, and will fight a woman, trying to tell her that she not a better woman than he trying to be. And he wouldn't be here if his mama wasn't the best woman on earth to even have him in the first place. I hope y'all hearing me. Let me see. I hope y'all hearing me on this. Straight up. I promise I hope y'all hearing me. And that's the issue. Now we have these flamboyant brothers filled with testosterone, but got their grandmother's wig on, putting a dress on, and is willing to fight a real woman to say that they are a woman. I'm a natural woman and won't ever allow a man to tell me he is a woman like me. That's right, awakening goddess. And I'm going to protect that right for you. I'm going to protect that truth as long as I can. And I'm going to use this channel for that. Okay? Because I don't like what I'm seeing in this whole sci-fi realm. But it all stems from the confusion that we've been placed under. Okay? And now, like I said, you got men rolling around here wanting to be women using a masculine testosterone level to achieve their feat and to achieve what they want to achieve. And it's a totally different vibe. Okay? A man not gonna just sit down and be quiet like no woman if he don't necessarily agree with what's going on. He gonna fight for his right to speak. He gonna fight for his opinion to be heard. And if he don't get to hear, if he don't get to speak what he believes, then he gonna fight physically for it. Okay? And that's what's so crazy about this day that we live in. Everything that's being presented to us is lopsided, turned upside down, and it's a form of confusion. If we don't go with it, then we're made to feel guilty. And that's how you know it's of the wicked one. Anytime you don't go with something that the wicked one presents, and the wicked one tells you you need to feel guilty about it or wants to attack you for it, then you know it's not of the Most High. It's not of the light. Okay? Now, that's not to say that you won't have disagreements with somebody, or if somebody presents something to you that you won't have time to learn that thing and do your own due diligence on it. It's always going to be a disagreement here and there. But when you disagree with somebody in love, you're not going to make those people feel guilty about what they disagreeing about. Okay? Everybody has different levels of attenuation that they have to achieve in order to get to certain levels of thought, knowledge, and wisdom. That's okay. That goes into my previous live where I said, meet people where they are, not where you want them to be. Okay? Now, if you ask me, when it goes into the confusion of homosexuality, that's a mental disease. That's a mental disorder. So, in reality, my heart goes out to brothers and sisters that's in that conundrum, because it's a spiritual attack. And that's where prayer comes in for these people. I wouldn't attack them because they are going against the creation, but I have to let them know, hey, brother, your decision is going against the creation. We was put here to reproduce. We was put here to be fruitful and multiply. That's why anything that does not reproduce, like a genetically modified organism, like a GMO, like a bioengineered substance that doesn't reproduce in and of itself, that's why you know it's of the wicked one. Anything that's being attacked in this creation that produces naturally high numbers of fruitfulness and is being attacked by an opposing source, that opposing source is of the wicked one. When your conscience is attacked and you're not able to think purely and you're not able to present your thought in a meaningful way, like even using my free speech now, if I was to be attacked for this, then that's somebody who's rocking with the wicked one. And that's just what it is. Okay? If a person is not able to sit back and use their most high given wisdom and knowledge within themselves to then take what I'm saying and to add it up and to do what they need to do to formulate pure thought for themselves about this thing, then they got wicked energy on them. Okay? So we have to look. Yeah, I'm perched up on my tool right now. So y'all don't trip. But look, this all has to deal with Christianity, the confusion of Christianity. Is Christianity bad? The modern version of it is, because the modern version seeks to pervert the truth. As long as Christians all over the world believe that Jesus was a blonde-haired, blue-eyed European man, then Christianity is going to be at fault. As long as the parishioners and the pastors and the priests, whether they are black, white, Chinese, whatever, as long as you look behind them into the pulpit and you see a blonde-haired, blue-eyed, white person that's truly a model of Caesar Borgia of Rome, then that's going to be a problem. If your high ranking pastors and priests and preachers don't correct that and seek to correct that, because Christianity is truly a power grab, a control mechanism, then Christianity will always be bad. It'll be difficult to really adhere to. But if you do your due diligence and you learn etymology, etymology is the study of root words, where words come from. And you can look at the word again, Christianity, and you could go to the root, and you could go to the root of that word, Christ, Christos, which is a Greek word meaning anointed or anointed one, and anity, meaning a group of something. Then you can come to the conclusion that Christianity means a group of anointed ones. And then you could align yourself with that group of anointed beings on this earth in order to propel yourself further into the truth. When you could read passages out of the Bible like John chapter 14, verse 12, and not feel threatened by what Yahshua was saying, in that all of the powers that I exhibited on this earth, you all coming after me will be able to do greater versions than what I even did here, because I'm going back to the Father. When you could understand that and not feel guilty with that perspective, then guess what? You will be more Christ-like than many. And see, that's the thing that Christianity seeks to continue to propagate. They want us to believe through modern Christianity that Yahshua was the only enlightened or the only Christ-like or the only anointed being, when he himself said that he wasn't the only one. As long as we think that Christ is one person and not a designation placed on to a person, not a supernatural, because it's a supernatural designation placed onto the being of an individual. Okay? Once you understand that, then you will be ready to rock and roll. Excuse me, y'all. I got a whole little one of my eyelashes is trying to get me, stick to me. Hold on. Once you realize that Christ is a designation, it's a level of attainment, okay? And not some man-made gift of a thumb placed on your forehead and now you anointed. But it's actually a divine placement, a mental development. That's right. They not trying to take from what you share to learn. Straight up, we need to learn how to learn from each other. Yes, it takes skill to be real. It's time to heal each other. Like Brother Tupac Shakur said. Brother Tupac Amaru Shakur said it takes skill to be real. It's time to heal each other. Okay? That goes into us waking up. That goes into us being fully awakened, the true anointing, so that we can speak messages like these of truth to one another and confirm that truth through the resonating energy that truth manifests between us. Okay? It's very important, y'all. That's what Brother True Jew Channel is all about. I will never sit up here and allow somebody to tell me, especially somebody from the Christianity sect, that my ancestors and ancestresses is going to burn in hell because they didn't receive Christianity. I will never sit up here and fall for that lie no more. At one time, I was worried about my great, 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 great. So I said, man, well, they didn't get to experience Christ. They didn't know about Jesus. So what's happening to them? What's going on with them? And you got some who say, well, brother, you don't got to worry because Noah had a law given to him. It was the universal Noahic law. It was that Noahic law that, taught people how to live before Christ came. Oh, don't worry, brother. Our ancestors had the Mosaic law, the one given to Moses at the Mount Sinai. Don't worry. Don't worry. They'll be okay. Well, if you know anything about genetics, now you subscribe to genetics, because like I said, bruh, True Jew, I gotta take what's in a book and I gotta make it live. I gotta make it real for me. That's the letter of the word book knowledge versus street smarts and street knowledge and real knowledge through experience. That's where a lot of us fall off because we so busy keeping our nose in the book. You know how many books on earth it is? And every single person got a different perspective. That's the power of books. If you read a book, then you're getting access into someone else's perspective, and that's a great thing. But if you allow that perspective to control your thought to the point where you're not thinking with your own perspective, then you in trouble. Bruh, True Jew not here to tell you what to think. I'm here to teach you how to think. If you can look at me and you can be like, wow, bruh is speaking confidently. He not tripping off going to hell. He not tripping off somebody getting on his channel telling he finna burn in hell. Man, maybe I could take some of that juice and apply it to my own life. And some of that confidence and say, dang, well, I want some of that confidence too. Don't be envious, bruh, True Jew. Don't be envious of me and what I'm doing. Don't do that. Just look at what I'm doing. And if you like something you see, copy it. I don't mind. We are supposed to be reflections of each other. I don't mind. Take what you see, apply it to your life, see do it work. If it work, keep using it. If it ain't broke, it don't need to be fixed, right? But if it don't work for you, then leave it alone and find the resonate energy with somebody who you do see that got a tenet that resonate with you and use that. But don't sit up here and let somebody control your thinking when you got a thought form in your mind that comes to you, that's channeled to you. And then you present that thought form without confidence to somebody looking for their approval, and that person already got it out for you anyway. You didn't know that person was hating on you anyway. That person hating on you because you thought something that they wasn't thinking. Did you ever think of that? Did you ever stop and think that maybe that pastor that you brought that thought to was just upset and hating on you because he didn't think about it first himself? Did you think about that? You see what I'm saying? Trust yourself because you are the divine presence within this humanly avatar in your own right. I'm a version of it. You a version of it. She a version of it. He a version of it. They a version of it. And we all present the perspective of the Most High living on this earth. That begs me to go back to my point. If you know anything about genetics, my mama, my genetics is just on my mama's side alone, is over 250,000 years old. Original DNA. Do you hear me? My daddy's genetics is what? 200, a minimum 225,000 years old. Back to the first man, the first women. Do y'all hear me? But Adam, if you talk about the Bible, Adam only existed for 6,000 years. But y'all want to know a secret, a Bible secret they don't tell you about? If you read Genesis very carefully, you will see that Adam and Eve, they was only the man and woman that was created in the Garden of Eden. They was created outside of what I like to call general population. If that wasn't the truth, how did Cain get kicked out of Eden and then go up and meet some woman and have babies outside of Eden? Where all these families come from outside of Eden if Adam and Eve was the first to be created? Why Cain and Abel and them and Seth didn't have no brothers and sisters, but Cain got kicked out of Eden and got to formulate his own family? Where all them people come from? You got to read carefully because it actually is there in the Bible. Maybe I'll do a study on that one for y'all and a live on that if this thing don't be acting up. But when I realized that, after careful perusal through Genesis, that's when it hit me, y'all. We have been duped so hard through Christianity, of modern day Christianity. Now, once again, the true Christianity, to be a group of anointed ones, oh, that's such a beautiful thing. That is so beautiful. To be in a group of anointed ones who resonate with you, who learn like how you learn, which means you got an open mind. You're seeking knowledge constantly, and you're sharing that knowledge through love and light. Oh my goodness, that's such a beautiful place to be. But when you start talking about this modern Christianity where I got to tell you what to believe, you got to bow down to me, you got to read what I'm giving you, you don't ask no questions about what I'm reading or what I'm telling you, though. And if you do, you crazy and going to hell. Oh, no, 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 no. Y'all get away from that. You don't got to take my word for it, but get away from that. That ain't healthy at all. That's not good at all. That's total poppycock, like they like to say in England. That's total poppycock, mate. Now that's Australian when they say mate, but all of them from England anyway. Ain't that crazy? That's total poppycock, mate. What are they talking about, bruv? What's up, bruv? Why they lying like that, bruv? That's total poppycock. Yeah, it's total poppycock. It don't make no sense. It's not cool. So I hope y'all hearing, bruh, True Jew. And I hope if you take anything from these lives, what you take from it is the opportunity to think for yourself. Use me as an example. Dang, if bruh thinking like that, then how did bruh get to that point where he thinking like that? First of all, I trusted myself and I trusted that the Most High wouldn't send me here and then put me in hell just for thinking with an open mind. Come on, hell? For real? For real? Hell? Just for thinking a certain way? I ain't hurting nobody. I mean, unless somebody got some funk, unless somebody really want it, and they stepping and trying to hurt my family, then they finna get the business. Y'all know what it do. Y'all know how it works. Y'all know how that gets down. But I'm talking about living my day-to-day existence. I wake up with so many pure energies on me. Sorry, guys, the truth of Christianity. Not able to express your perspective at all. That's right. And that's the problem. That's the problem. So if you part of something and they not allowing you to live your truth within it, then that's a problem. Okay? That's a problem, especially when the book that they presented is saying otherwise. And, you know, when I look and think about this whole creation, and I think about the universe we live in, and I think about the creator, creatress being outside of the universe as its creation, but also inside of it through us. See, that's why the enemy is upset, because we was created to experience as the creator, creatures within these avatars. Okay? That's why Yahshua said, I and the Father are one. Okay? The soul is the unique personality of an individual. The spirit is coming directly from the source, directly from the creator, creatress, the breath of life. Okay? When you put them two together, they become one. Okay? And then when you put those aspects of creation, those energies inside of a temple, a body, a vessel, a vehicle, an avatar, then we get animation and we get to live and experience out here in truth. Now we're supposed to live and experience in truth and righteousness. That's why it's okay to be Christ-like and attain to want to be a Christ within yourself, because Christ is simply the English version of Christos, which means anointed one. Now, if you living like Yahshua lived, then there's no way you could be an antichrist, because an antichrist is antithetical, opposite of the true Christ-like mentality. So I don't want nobody talking about, oh, bruh, talking like he an antichrist. How? That's like calling me anti-Semitic. How am I anti-Semitic when I'm Afro-Semitic? How? Semitic is African. Semitic is melanated. Semitic is original people. So how am I anti-myself? How am I anti-Christ when I'm coming with the light? When I'm coming with the truth? When I'm not trying to manipulate? When I'm not trying to subvert individuals from one area of thinking into one that's going to harm them and hurt them? Impossible, bruh. Impossible, sis. You need to go back to your books, baby, because that's not what the case is. Y'all feel me? So, look, the sun that went down. It's a beautiful evening. It just started to cool down. I did my work for the day. Today will be considered a Shabbat as the sun goes down, a day of rest. I want to reflect as the sun goes down. I want to give thanks for this beautiful day. I want to do my prayers. I want to acknowledge the Most High in my life. I want to give thanks for everybody who's participated in this live stream, who has signed in and joined me time after time again. I want to give thanks to the Most High for blessing me with breath today, blessing me to fulfill my objectives. Had a long day today. Y'all know my new book is out, right? So I've been placing calls all day, getting this book placed within uh, addiction counseling centers, um, substance use. See, a lot of times people like to say substance abuse, right? Or addicts, right? But it's been put on my heart to say substance use disorder. A substance use disorder is something that somebody has. It's a virus. And I know when it came to our communities, it wasn't considered no virus. It was considered an offense, that a jailable offense. But today, because other nations are being attacked by the scourge of substance abuse, now there are help centers all over the nation which cater to individuals who are substance use, uh, who are under substance use disorder. So, you know, I've been calling and doing my work in that field to make sure that my book gets placed in those forms of the community where it needs to be placed as well. This book, From Clutter to Cleanliness, The Renewal of a Mind, a Success Story, will be a great gift to anybody that's seeking to learn how I think, who's seeking to um, change their thinking and renew their thought process and not feel guilty for the thought process that they have. This book, From Clutter to Cleanliness, The Renewal of a Mind, a Success Story, will teach you how to live in your experience. It'll teach you how to live in your unique experience on this earth, and to learn how to give thanks for your unique experience without feeling guilty, without feeling odd, without feeling like you are going to hell because of your experience that you've experienced on this realm, in this realm. Um, from clutter to cleanliness, the renewal of a mind, a success story. It will teach you how to be grateful and not only be grateful for your experience on this earth, but how to positively heal through the journey of healing. Okay, because healing itself is a journey. And once you get through that journey, then you are healed. But then there's a total new leg of the journey where any responsible person who has been healed, they have a testimony. And that testimony, if you have love and light in you, will serve as a grouping of statements that will allow you to share that testimony in order to avert someone else from going down the same path that you might have had to go through, or choosing the same path that you had to choose in order to get to the healing and healed state that you now have attained. So, listen, y'all, my book is in 5 different formats right now: paperback, hardback, EPUB, PDF, and Kindle. Okay? Each one of those formats are accessible right now. And I highly suggest you take a small investment and you go on and pick that book up in any one of its forms. Right now, the physical copies are headed off to print. Okay? If you purchase a physical copy of the book from me, all you have to do is state that you want me to sign that book personally. I will personalize it just for you, and I'll leave a special note of motivation, inspiration, just for you. Okay? And you can place that order on truejew.org. Okay, that's truejew.org. If you have any prayer requests, any inquiries from me, you can reach out to me directly on the real true Jew at gmail.com. That's the real true Jew at gmail.com. Once again, the real true Jew at gmail.com. And I'll respond to you. You know, I'm teaching folks right now, or at least showing folks and sharing folks how to heal, how to be grateful for your experience. Because when you get out to the land, if this is something that you really want to do, you have to keep in mind that you're going to have to change your mindset. You're not going to be able to bring old paradigms with you into a new place. Just like the scriptures say, new wine does not go into old wine casings. New wine does not go into new wine bottles. New wine does not go into old vessels. Okay? Now that's a metaphor. That's a metaphor. Okay? The new spirit must go into new bodies. The new spirit must go into a new avatar, a new vessel. The new spirit must go into that new creation, that new creature. So right now, we have been chosen as the elect for those new assets, those new resources, those new spiritual resources that we seek to attain. Until then, we must stand strong and love each other in truth and in light. Express each other, express to one another in truth and in light. Use our experiences to help guide each other. And that's what the renewal of a mind, that's what from clutter to cleanliness, the renewal of a mind, a success story is all about. Yes, I give you some of my life's history. I give you a small biography of myself, but I also give you self help anecdotes, affirmations, mantras, and techniques that will help you get to that next level. This is no cap, y'all. And all of this was blessed to me through me for y'all. Okay? And I know that these methods help you because listen, I wouldn't be where I'm at on this beautiful land if I wasn't right in my mind. The Most High, Mama and Papa would not have guided me to this beautiful blessing if I was still jacked up in my mind. And I know a lot of y'all want to get to the land, but y'all not going to get to the land with no jacked up mind because when you get to the land, you have to have a renewed mind. You must. Listen, we were so taken away from our ancestral practices that most of us don't even know how to exist on the land. Most of it, look, it's so sad. We ain't used a hoe in so long. We done took this hoe, the real hoe, and now we calling our women hoes. When technically speaking, a man is the only one that could be a hoe. A man is the only one that could be a hoe. Why? Because the woman is the symbol of Mama Earth. The woman is the symbol of the sacred and fertile soil. The woman can only be opened up by a man. This hoe, it opens the earth up. Am I correct or am I wrong? You got to roll and till with a hoe, right? That hoe opens up the soil so you can plant your what in it, fellas? So you can plant your seed in it. Y'all hear me? And that hoe, this is an extension of a man. So by default, can't no woman be no hoe because a woman represents the earth and the sacred soil. But a man who opens up that woman, who dig off in her and plant his seed, oh yeah, he can most definitely be a hoe. I hope y'all hearing me. And brothers, fellas, listen, this ain't about catering to the sisters and all of that. You know, I keeps it real 100, funky, funky, funky. The only way I know how. So we have to do better. Thank you, Awakening Goddess. We have to do better, y'all. If we gonna be out here hoeing, at least be responsible for the seed that you plant and caretake with your hoe. Actually be a true provider, nurturer, protector, cultivator, caretaker over the land that you was blessed with. That's why a lot of us ain't gonna make it to the land, because we don't have a renewed mind. Y'all want to learn how to get a renewed mind that got true spiritual elements to it, that really tell you about a past that's like, whoa, bruh, I don't believe it. And yet you still who you are today? Yes, my family, because I got a renewed mind. So if y'all want to learn how True Jew got his renewed mind, I really suggest you pick up that book ASAP. Now the e cover, the ebook, that's less expensive than the physical copy. Y'all could go to Chick-fil-A and buy you a whole Chick-fil-A meal for $15. So if you could do that, you can definitely go on and buy a True Jew book for $9 and what, 81 cents. Y'all could definitely go buy the book because it's well worth the read. And the resource and benefit that it's going to give you is honestly priceless. That's my time, y'all. You know I love you to life always. True Jew, your big bro, tapping in with you always. Peace and love and light, all that other good stuff. You know, stay vigilant, stay blessed. Most High Mama and Papa willing, like they've been willing so much to set me up with this beautiful opportunity to come to y'all in the truth. They'll let me do it again, long as it's in their will. You hear me? Until then, I love you to life always. Stay vigilant, stay blessed. Until next time, gone.